Today I'm going to answer questions about pregnancy. I got you guys to ask me questions on my Instagram. Anything pregnancy related. The first question was it planned? Yeah and no. We both had a conversation, of course, about like that we'd want to have kids together. It weren't a case of let's go now. It wasn't like we were really trying, but we're old enough to know what happens when you have unprotected sex and what can happen after that. So yeah, it weren't planned. It was just kind of like, if it happens, it happens. Boring answer, really. I feel like you guys expect me to be like, no, we didn't even know it was gonna happen. Of course, we're not stupid. We know what happens when you have sex unprotectedly. What's been the best and worst experience on your pregnancy journey? The worst experience has been my anxiety. I didn't know how much like health anxiety I had. I'm constantly wondering if she's okay, and I feel like that is just a normal thing for any pregnant woman. They're always wondering if their baby's okay, but I'm like obsessed over the fact of like making sure she's okay, making sure she's kicked, making sure she's still breathing. Like obviously I don't actually know if she's still breathing. I can just rely off like movements, but I just have the worst anxiety all the time, and I have it with everything, but since I've been pregnant I'm like, this is not normal. Will you aim to keep your children close in age? Ideally yes, but I don't know, because I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how I'm going to handle this. I don't know if I'm in a situation where I can just have kid after kid after kid. I would like to keep my children close in age, but I still have other goals, like career goals too. I don't know. No longer than like 5 years gap between the next child. And I think at least a year, but no longer than 5 years. Do you have a name? Yes. Yeah, this name, right, that we have, that what her name is, it weren't, I never said to Danny, Danny never said to me like, that's the name. We just had it in our options, and then now that's just all we call her. I did have a lot of options, and I really want to share some of the options I had, but I don't know if I'm going to want to use them one day. There was one option I had, and I see a girl, my friend sent it to me. She just had a baby, like a girl on Instagram, and she called her baby that name. So I guess I wouldn't call my kids that name now. So I can share that name. It was Chrome. I really like the name Chrome. Danny wasn't keen on it. I feel like, yeah, it's a bit of a different name, but Chrome, I love that name. Biggest hurdle to overcome that you didn't expect? Probably just the feeling pregnant part. I'm a very active person. If I want something done, like I'll just do it myself. And since I've been pregnant, that just isn't the case. I can't just lift something really heavy up, whereas before I would. I can't just do crazy things what before I would. So probably that, just having to like actually chill out. And in my head I can still do these crazy things, but physically I can't, and I need to like stop trying to just do more. Because I saw a crazy TikTok about a girl that said she was constantly lifting heavy things during her pregnancy, and then her belly button turned about this big. She had a hernia, but her belly button sticked out that much, and I started having flashbacks of all the heavy things that I have still lifted, and they're still heavy, and there's heavier things that I've like decided not to lift. And I thought, a hernia, a big fat belly button, no. How are you both gonna approach traveling with the baby? The first 2 years, I want to travel with her a lot, because I don't have to pay for her plane ticket. And actually, my sister's getting married really not long after my due date. Really not long. I'm having to miss out on her hen. And at first I was like, I could go to her hen, I'll take the baby with me. But no, I'm being like serious here. Like, I won't be able to take the baby to my sister's hen. I'm so gutted I will miss it. But it wouldn't be fun anyway. I would literally not be able to drink because I'm going to breastfeed. I'd probably just be the boring one, and I'd constantly just, if we went out and I had to like leave the baby, I just would constantly be worrying about her. So I'm just going to be boring. But not long after that, it's her wedding, and I'm going to have to travel with the baby because she's having her wedding abroad. And I'm a little bit nervous for it, but I think it'll be fine. It'll be at a time where kind of like I've got my routine going and things will be flowing, and it will just be like good vibes. And I just hope that it is, because I have to go to my sister's wedding. I can't miss my sister's wedding. I have to go. It's not an option to miss my sister getting married. How early did you show symptoms, or like my first symptoms that made me think I was pregnant? I didn't have any symptoms that made me think I was pregnant. Nothing that I didn't get when I was due on my period, if that makes sense. Like a few days before I found out, in the morning, I remember me and Danny woke up, and he said something, I don't know what he said, like he said something to me so not anything that to get upset over, and he left the room, and I just started crying my eyes out. I was like, in his bed like crying, and I thought, oh, I'm due on. The reason I even did a test because my mum said it to me. She said, are you pregnant because your boobs look huge? And I just thought, oh, my boobs are getting big because like I'm due on. But that was it. Then once I did know, I was weeing all the time, and if I was sat down for like 30 minutes and I stood up, I would get so lightheaded. I'd feel like I needed to faint. I'd have to sit back down and kind of like hold on to something. I was so lightheaded in my first trimester, but apart from that, nothing. No morning sickness, nothing. What's one thing you can't do pregnant that you really want to do? Drink a Red Bull. The moment I give birth, pass me a Red Bull. Crack open a Red Bull and oh my God, I love Red Bull so much. I didn't know how much I loved Red Bull. And I think everyone's like, you can get caffeine free. I haven't seen no caffeine free Red Bull, but I love Red Bull. Just the taste, not even for the caffeine, like the taste of Red Bull, give it to me. I can't wait to have a Red Bull. I want crushed ice, I want a lime in there, and I want Red Bull as soon as I give birth. Who was the first person you told other than Danny? You're not my best friend if I didn't tell you I was even doing a test, because I bought the test and I sent it to my friend straight away and said, I'm doing a pregnancy test. Alert, alert, just to let you know, I'm doing a pregnancy test. So she even knew I was doing a test, so she knew before anyone else knew. And my sisters, of course. I didn't tell my sisters I was doing a test, but as soon as it came up positive, I sent it to my sisters. Because the reason I didn't straight away tell Danny, one, he was streaming, and two, I wanted to do like a really nice way of telling him, which just got ruined anyway because he knew something was up with me. He kept saying to me, what's wrong, you're acting so weird. So I just told him, but because I just couldn't even keep it in. But I did want to, like, I was intending to do like a little cute thing to tell him, you know, like when they open their little box and it's like, oh, best daddy ever. Cringe. How do you get over the biggest fear? Labour. First of all, it's not the biggest fear, right? I'm reading a lot of books on this, and you can't fear labour, because there is the first step to having a bad labour, fearing it. It's meant to be a beautiful process, like you are pushing a baby out. I'm not scared to give birth at all. At all. I've had a lot of steps, I think, that are helping me not so scared, but I was my sister's birthing partner like 2 years ago, and well, it was her 4th child, so it was a breeze. We were in there for like, she was in labour for like an hour. She pushed her out in like 15 minutes. So that has like set my expectations high, and ignorance is bliss. If that's all I can go off, then that's all I'm going off. I'm not about to watch horror stories of women giving birth, because another book I'm reading says don't watch horror stories, don't listen to bad birthing stories, because it puts negative thoughts in your head, and I don't have any negative thoughts in my head. I only have positive ones. I'm not going to do any epidurals. Gas and air, give it to me. I'm not going to lie, I can take a little bit of gas and air, but I'm not going to get an epidural. I have too much anxiety to get an epidural, right? Because I'm scared that I get the epidural, I'm paralysed, zombie apocalypse hits. Zombies are coming in. Danny, take the baby, run and save the baby. Do you think these nurses in a zombie apocalypse are going to save me? No, I can't go anywhere because I'm paralysed from the waist down. Not happening. I'm not getting an epidural, and no. I think your body is like such an incredible thing that you've got yourself all the way to this end part. Like, you've grown this whole baby. You can push it out. I don't think you need like chemical man-made medicines to get you to the next step. Of course, like some people really do, or like C-sections or whatever, but I think if I'm having a natural birth, I can do this. I've got myself this far, I can get it out. I can get her out. Before finding out the gender, were you hoping for a boy or a girl? I was really hoping for a girl. Danny was hoping for a girl too. We both wanted a girl. I needed a little girl. And then I started thinking about being in a house, like with 2 boys, and I thought, I can't do it, I need to have a girl. Now I don't mind. My second like kid, 3rd kid, 4th kid, 5th kid, 6th kid, I don't care. But I've got my girl now. I think when you have a boy, you're constantly wanting your girl. I don't know, some people don't, but if I had a boy first, I'd want to have a girl like soon after. Or I'd want to have another baby soon after to hope that it was a girl. Will you be doing a nursery reveal or a name reveal? Nursery, yeah. I think I'm going to actually do a video, maybe on here or just on TikTok, of like doing a whole nursery, because the room that was going to be her bedroom now, I'm going to make that my content room because it's a bit smaller. And humble, but I'm fine with having a smaller content room so she can have a bigger bedroom, because I want to have a rocking chair and her cot is huge, so she needs the bigger room. But her name, I really don't know if I want to reveal her name yet. I just don't know. Like, I think naturally, eventually I will just say her name, because I am an influencer and I'm going to talk about her a lot, and I'm not going to show her, but I will talk about her and things that like are going on with her. I think to not say her name would be hard, but it just scares me with the name because I get scared if I'm out and then someone sees me with her and then they start calling her name. I hope no one ever does that because that would make me so angry, but that's like what scares me about people knowing her name. How do you feel going into motherhood? Is there anything you're worried about? Yeah, I'm just worried about everything, but I try not to be worried, but I am actually so worried. I'm shitting myself. Do you know what the scariest part is for me? Is like you give birth and then they just send you home and then you're just at home with this whole baby and you're like, hey, I gotta look after you now, like, it's just me and you. I'm so excited, but that's what I'm nervous for. I think the first night at home is the only thing I'm really nervous for. My sisters and like my mum, even my dad was like, it's gonna come so naturally, like it will just happen. And at first I was watching loads of TikTok videos where it's like, oh, my routine with my 2-week-old. I realised that's making me more nervous because it's giving me like an expectation or like making me feel like, oh, well, they're doing it so breezily, like I should do it like that. I think it'll just happen, it'll just flow. But the first night is the only thing I'm worried for the most. Just because I'm like, it's the first night. Every little thing I won't sleep the first night because I want to just constantly check she's still breathing, check the room's the right temperature. Like the first night is what I'm most worried for. And I think once I get past the first night at home, I'll be good. That is all my pregnancy questions. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go. Mwah.